All right, we're back with another pick'em video. It is Wednesday, May 7th in the NBA. We got two more playoff games to talk about in this one. Knicks Celtics game 2, Thunder Denver game 2. And for the first time in playoff history in the second round, we're seeing every single away team win their games in that first game. So pretty crazy. Very hard to predict here. Unpredictable playoffs is what we got going on. I've been shooting about 50% in the playoffs. It's much harder than the regular season. We all know that. It's a chess match. Things can change not only game by game, but half by half, defensive schemes, quarter by quarter sometimes. And then you see some of these injuries piling up, and that changes things as well. So it's been hard to predict, but this is entertainment at the end of the day. We're going to do our best to try to predict what's going to happen. And especially with these game ones under our belt, going into game 2, especially with the favorite teams losing these games, you got to see some sort of adjustments, and you got to see, potential for a lot of bounce back opportunities here. So that's what we're going to be looking into for this video. Let's start with the Knicks and Celtics. We'll get into things. We are going to go over the any sort of injury news. Porzingis ended up leaving that game with an illness that he's been dealing with. He comes back and playing game 2 probably. He's a probable tag. So we'll talk about some injuries, and then we'll actually start talking about some plays. And then, of course, we'll get into the later game with the Thunder and the Nuggets. Playoffs have been pretty unpredictable, like I've said, but also very entertaining. You do like to see, these underdog teams putting up a fight. That's just more entertaining and fun to watch for, NBA fans here. So if you're new around here, definitely going to leave the video a like, comment something down below. Of course, subscribe if you are new. I'm typically more, consistent with these uploads, but the playoffs have been very unpredictable, and at the same time, I am dealing with some sort of nerve infringement or something, impingement, whatever it's called. I'm going to PT tomorrow, actually, to be totally frank with you guys. It's made it very, very difficult to sit down and film these videos and stay comfortable with that impingement, really putting a lot of pressure in terms of like my chest, my pecs, my shoulders. It's very, very uncomfortable for me to sit down and do these things, but it is getting better, and hopefully, physical therapy is going to help that out. And I'll be back onto like normal uploads. If you want to know what's going to happen after the NBA, of course, we're going to be attacking WNBA. We will be looking at baseball. I've been doing some more baseball plays within the Discord community. Good things to come. I'm excited for the games tonight, excited for the rest of the playoffs, and we got to get over this 50% hump that we've kind of been riding throughout the playoffs. But of course, going to be a little bit harder than regular season with the unpredictability and the changes that go game by game, half by half, quarter by quarter, kind of like I said. So let's hop into the video and actually start talking about some plays here. All right, so hopping into RotoWire here to actually start talking about some plays. We got the Knicks Celtics. That's where we're going to start. And for the injury news, we got Porzingis being a probable tag and Sam Hauser being a doubtful tag. So Sam Hauser, not someone that's going to be a series changer, a game changer typically, but someone that comes off the bench, can hopefully be a spark plug for the Celtics off the bench. He probably won't be there. Did turn his ankle / his knee and didn't look amazing, hobbled off the floor. So he's going to be a doubtful tag. And then Porzingis did not play particularly well, but obviously changes the course of the game when he's out there or not. And he should be out there and ready to go, dealing with that illness that he kind of dealt with throughout the season. He missed like 8 games due to an illness near the end of the season. So hopefully he's out there ready to go and healthy. On the Knicks side of things, they're active and ready to go. Hopefully, trying to take a 2-0 lead in this series, which would be crazy. But the Celtics now 10.5-point favorites. It was a 9-point spread in game 1. You do have to expect the Celtics to come in here, actually continue to attack the paint where they saw a lot of success, getting people into foul trouble, doing the hack-a-mitch, whatever that was in the game as well, and then not just relying on the 3 when you get up and just keep launching them, and you're just watching that game like, how are you not going to the rack? They went to the basket like 5 times in the third quarter, and I think they scored every single time and then missed I don't even know how many threes. So the Celtics shot themselves out of that game. I give all the credit in the world to the Knicks to just keep battling. But the Celtics lost that game. I think we all know that. And I think that's why the spread's opening up at a 10.5-point favorite here, as the Celtics were in control and then just took their foot off the gas. So I do expect a lot of bounce-back opportunities here, especially if Porzingis is out there healthy and ready to go. But the Knicks are not going to go down without a fight. I don't know if I expect a 30-point blowout, but I do think the Celtics come out here and handle this game handily. And definitely call me out in the comments if you think I'm just got green goggles on right now. But that's what, just watching that game, without bias in there, you can just say, why are the Celtics shooting threes, continuing to shoot threes? They're not falling. Go to the rack. That's where we're getting some success. And then the Knicks side of things, Jalen Brunson's going to do his thing. He's been very active in these playoffs. We know he's a playoff-type player. Doesn't seem to miss open shots, and that continued in this series. OG Anunoby had an amazing game. I do see some sort of regression there. He has not scored. I don't think he scored more than 15 points against the Celtics ever until last game, where he was just wide open, just continuing to knock down threes, getting dunks, really getting whatever he could handle. And then Towns was kind of a non-factor, picking up some fouls, but was very aggressive in finding some mismatches in the down low, especially when Porzingis was not down there. So he could see a bounce back spot opportunity. And then Josh Hart just willing his team to victory here. Mikal Bridges is someone that hasn't played amazing in terms of his offensive game, but obviously a huge part of their defense, especially in that overtime. So the Knicks do have a lot of good things here, but I do think this is a Celtic spot. So let's hop into Props Madness, actually start talking about some plays. If you don't know what Props Madness is, this is the tool I use every single video, every single day, every single time I upload, and it's for good reason. Anytime I do NBA, very excited to use this for WNBA. It's an amazing tool. It gives you so many different options, hit rates, filters, all these different things, and it gives you all that just sort of one-stop shop. So definitely check out Props Madness if you want access to this for a free week. You can use my code down below. It's code RICH. Lets them know that I sent you there, which is a great way to support the channel. And you can also get 25% off your first month or your first year using that code RICH. So definitely check out Props Madness. To talk about our first play here, it's going to be Jason Tatum, and to be totally honest, I got this at 42.5. That's where I was going to be talking about it in the video. It has hopped to 43.5 pretty much on every book, so this is readily available at 43.5. We're talking about his points, rebounds, and assists here. Now, the points, obviously, he's been aggressive in these playoffs. You can see in the playoffs so far, we'll just go to his points. He's been awesome, and he's going against some tough defenses against the Magic, now against the Knicks, and he only scored 23 points in that first game, 44 minutes in the overtime, but you can see he shot 7 of 23 and 4 of 15 from three-point land. So that's going to be tough. If he's going to go out there and shoot 23 times but shoot 30%, he might stay under this line. But at the same time, he's chipping in with rebounds. He's been an elite rebounder throughout the playoffs, averaging 12.2 rebounds in the playoffs. He absolutely steps up his rebounding in the playoffs. You can actually see last year as well was a really good rebounder throughout the playoffs, and we've seen that. 17 rebound chances, does grab 16 of them. I don't know if we can expect 16 once again, but if he can get 10, 11, 12, that would be awesome for us. And then the assists were there as well. Obviously, he's going to get as much attention as possible. He started jacking up bad shots, but he's able to go to the rim. Got a lot of mismatches. Jalen Brunson, whether it's Mitchell Robinson, even Karl-Anthony Towns, he can go by those guys. He just has to do it. So the assists are going to be there too if they start throwing doubles at him. We saw 17 potential assists in that game 1 against the Knicks. And so far against the Knicks, he's had some good games, had some bad games, with 4 being the lower one. But even in those bad games, his potential assists are up there. 10 potential assists, 12 potential assists. So whatever they throw out at him, I think he's going to be able to take advantage of mismatches, and I think he's going to be able to get some assists, grab some rebounds. So the 43.5 PRA, he's actually gone over in every single game against the Knicks so far this year, and this is kind of a must-win here for the Celtics. You can't go down 0-2 as the favorite and the home team here. So I think we're expecting a big Tatum game, and we could have got a big Tatum game last time. Started the game off with 13 first quarter points, and I don't expect him to kind of go down without a fight here, and at least get better shots. That's obviously got to be the talk of the locker room there. So Tatum expecting a big game here, 43.5 PRA. Not going to overthink it. Not going to try to sneak in some of these bench players. I think this is some of your best players got to step up here and lead your team to victory. So Tatum over 43.5 PRA, going to be the first play of the game. Really liking this. I like his scoring opportunities. I like what he's been doing in terms of diming up, assisting, and facilitating. And he's been rebounding machine, almost like a center in these playoffs so far. And we saw that again last year too. Another guy I really like in this matchup, and because of the pressure that's going to be into this game, is going to be Jrue Holiday. Now his lines are still pretty low. I really like his 14.5 points and rebounds line. His PRA line's at 18.5. I kind of like that as well. And again, similar thing here. He's played very well against the New York Knicks. He steps up in opportunities like this. Even with the Celtics having a bad game, he still had 25 PRA. So points and rebounds, points and assists, whatever one you want to look at, he's going to be a rebounder. He's definitely showed that he can do that in these bigger games. Had 6 rebounds on 13 chances in that first game against the Knicks. Does have 6 potential assists, and you could see him maybe handle the ball a little bit more, especially if they're giving some more pressure to Tatum. So maybe if you don't love the Tatum play, Jrue Holiday is going to be your second best bet here, just because of how low his lines are. I think Derek White's going to have a good game. I think Jaylen Brown's probably going to have a good game. The guy I might want to think about fading here, just because what he's looked like, maybe with this illness, affecting him a decent amount, would be fading a guy like Porzingis, who just has not been up to par, and has also had a difficult time scoring against this New York Knicks team. Did play 13 minutes in that first game. It's not like he played 5 and then left the game. But again, similar thing. He's going to be dealing with some sort of injury, some sort of illness, I will say. So if he's not going to be 100%, it's going to be hard for him to get 17 points. But if the Celtics are clicking, it's going to be a hard time to fade anyone on the starting 5 here. So Jrue Holiday, points, rebounds, assists, points and rebounds. I want to point that one out as well. He's going to be someone to step up in these opportunities. He's a guy that's probably at this point underrated in his career, because you're like, oh, he's old, blah, blah. but this is exactly what they need him for, playoff spots where they need to win. And Drew Holiday is, one of the best at being very, very consistent in these opportunities, similar kind of like an Al Horford guy. But Drew's going to get the minutes, played, 39 minutes in that OT game last time. He'll probably get 33, 34, 35 minutes. They're going to put him out there. Again, more of like a must-win Celtics game here. So Drew Holiday, I expect to have a good game. And to be totally honest, I like Jaylen Brown. I like Derek White. I like a lot of these starters for the Celtics. And again, trying to take the green goggles off and put them aside in terms of bias, you got to think these defending champs come in here, don't play that game where they're just jacking up a million. They shot 63s and continue to miss 15 of 63s. You got to go in there and reassess and get to the basket where they're a lot more, successful there. So I'm liking a lot of Celtics here, especially in the starting five. I'm not going to get too fancy with some bench players. But yeah, really liking Tatum, really liking Drew Holiday in terms of where their lines are at right now. But I could expect some big games from Jaylen Brown, Derek White as well. And then moving along to the Knicks side of things, I don't like to do this just because he's been playing extremely well. Just had an amazing game in that first game. But OG Anunoby at 16.5, I'm going to be leaning towards the under here. Now, why do I think that? Karl-Anthony Towns was in foul trouble, did not play a whole lot of time in that first half, ended up playing 31 minutes in an overtime game. So we saw a lot of opportunities for OG Anunoby, a lot more opportunities, shot 20 times in that game and shot extremely well, 6 threes in that game. So they were leaving him wide open. Again, if you watch that game, he was getting so many wide open looks and then getting out in transition with the Celtics shooting these threes and then guys just launching out to the transition. He got a lot of wide open dunks there too. So it's a horrible matchup typically for him to score. The Celtics need to go back to their defense that they know they can defend these certain things, and they're going to let Karl-Anthony Towns do those mismatch. They're going to let him, go up against a Drew Holiday. They're going to let him go up against a Porzingis even if he's down there. Towns has a lot of size and had a lot of success. He just needs to stay out of foul trouble, and we might see something similar where he gets in foul trouble, but they know that Towns has to be on the floor here. We saw exactly what they did with Mitchell Robinson, pretty much just hack a Mitchell Robinson. He's a horrible free throw shooter. If you haven't seen that, maybe watch tonight's game, or maybe just look up Mitchell Robinson free throws. The dude is a brick from the free throw line. Did end up hitting let's go to Mitchell Robinson. What was his free throws in that first game? 3 of 10. So yeah, it doesn't look pretty when he shoots that thing. So they know that Karl-Anthony Towns has to stay out of foul trouble. I'm sure he's going to make this mission to not be in foul trouble here. And if he does stay on the floor, I think they're going to, attack those mismatches that Karl-Anthony Towns does have down low. Maybe we see a little bit more of a Towns game, but I expect the Celtics to kind of control this game. So I think fading OG Anunoby at 16.5. I was kind of expecting this to be at 17.5 to be totally honest. Looks like everyone's got him at 16.5, but I'll take the under here. Kind of sell high on OG Anunoby, and hopefully the Celtics come out here, show their dominance, and kind of defend a guy that burned him last game. So in terms of the rest of the Knicks, I'm probably just going to stay away from the rest of the Knicks here. I think the Celtics do come out and control this. I'm really trying to put my Celtics bias aside, and you're going to see kind of a similar take in the Thunder and the Nuggets game. This is a perfect opportunity for a bounce-back spot for the favorite team, and the storyline, of course, is that the Knicks won the first game. The Knicks stole the first game. And you got to go hats off to the Knicks. They absolutely chipped away, and ended up winning that game, sealing that game in Boston. But at the same time, how are the Celtics even in this game? This game went to overtime with how poorly the Celtics played, how poorly they shot the ball, 15 of 60 from three, how poorly they were demeanor-wise in terms of not getting to the basket, kind of getting complacent, just taking their foot off the gas. And somehow they still only lost this game in overtime, which is crazy to me. So this is a 10.5 point spread for a reason. I do think the Celtics come out here and play a lot better today. And again, that's trying to take bias aside. Call me out in the comments if I'm being crazy, but that's my take on this game and kind of the projection and thoughts in the direction I think this one's going to go. Move along to the Nuggets and the Thunder here. I think this is a little bit of a different situation here just because of how tight the lines are for the Thunder, and I do think the Thunder come out here and win this game. If you come out here and see 10.5 point favorites in favor of the Thunder, again, the Nuggets, very similar to the Knicks, come back, chip away, and the Nuggets end up stealing that game with some heroics from obviously Jokic, but obviously Aaron Gordon, Russell Westbrook played amazing as well. It's hard to get everyone playing and playing well in the same game, except for Michael Porter Jr. was not very good, and we've seen them kind of go away from him a few games in the playoffs here. But for the Thunder side of things, you want to get to some of these guys. Tatum's line's at 26, 27.5. Chase is up at 33.5. J-Dub and Jaylen Brown, 21.5 for Jaylen Brown, 22.5 for J-Dub, who I think is definitely a bounce-back opportunity here, maybe some points and rebounds. Chet has not been amazing in these matchups so far. He's doesn't have a great matchup here. They can't extend the floor. If he can knock down his threes at home, we can see some big games from him. The guy I really like to see is Alex Caruso and how well he's been playing. I was thinking about like his PRA or something like that. But really, fantasy score, if you guys are on PrizePicks or something like that, Underdog, Sleeper, a lot of these different things have fantasy score, and that takes into account steals and blocks. And this is actually me the favorite play of my Thunder side of things here. So 2.5 is a plus money play, plus 128 on Bet365. A lot of different platforms have this for plus money right now. So if this is available on your book at steals and blocks, absolutely, I think this is a great spot for him. Look what he's been able to do in the playoffs. He's absolutely a scrappy player. I think this is going to be a lot more chippy type of game. The Thunder absolutely play chippy. If you watch their games, that's why they can stay in a lot. That's why they win a lot of games. They play chippy. They play the refs. The refs can't call fouls on everything, and they're just extremely aggressive. And obviously, Caruso is a big part of that. He's been amazing in the playoffs over this in 4 of the 5 playoff games he's played so far this year. You can see he's also had a lot of success against the Nuggets here. They're home. They want to win this game. They're going to be chippy, and they're going to throw Caruso out there for 22 plus minutes. And in that much time in the court, 22 to let's say 28 minutes or so, 60% hit rate. In the 2 games he played that much time against the Nuggets, 6 blocks and steals and 7 blocks and steals. So really like that opportunity for Alex Caruso. You could go to his PRA or his fantasy score as well, but absolutely love what I'm seeing for blocks and steals for Caruso here. I think the Thunder are going to be all over the place here. I think they do end up taking this game as the big favorites. I don't know if they're going to win by 11 points, but I do think they're going to come out and win this game, and I think it's going to be a lot of their aggression, their defense, has what brought them this far anyway throughout the season, why they had the best record in the league, and I think Caruso's absolutely a playoff type guy, and he's going to be all over the floor. And then on the Nuggets side of things, I'm just going to keep this very simple and go back to Nikola Jokic. I'm going to go to his points and rebounds. It's at 41.5. Obviously dropped 2 points in that first game, so he got over that just with the points alone. But he's been a rebounding machine in this matchup too. So plus money at 13.5. I don't mind that at all. The Nuggets give up a lot, or not the Nuggets, the Thunder give up a lot of rebounds, and he's got a lot of mismatch down there. And you could think about Hartenstein, Chet being down there. Jokic has been a dominant rebounder, and again, the Thunder give up a lot of rebounds, specifically to centers here. And you can see Jokic, you see Duren, you see guys that are playing a decent amount of time. Again, Jokic himself getting over this line a decent amount, and he's going to play as much time as he can handle. 42 minutes in that first game. That's what we've kind of been accustomed to in the playoffs so far, when the game can stay relatively close. And I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to be scoring some points. I think he's going to be rebounding. We just saw what happened when they let, obviously Jokic did whatever he wanted, but Aaron Gordon had a good game scoring. Russell Westbrook was awesome. We saw Jamal Murray score 21 points. So it's not like these other guys were doing nothing. I think they're going to be like, okay, let's take away those other guys. Jokic is still going to cook just because he's an absolute animal. He can grab rebounds. He can get some points, but we got to take away some of these other guys. And hats off to these guys. Aaron Gordon was shooting, awesome from 3. 3 of 6 from downtown, including the game winner. Russell Westbrook stepping in for Michael Porter Jr., taking a lot of his minutes. He's been amazing. Christian Brown, a guy that's right around 11 points a lot in these playoffs. Someone I'd maybe consider taking the under here, just because it's a very hard opportunity for him to go over. And again, I think the Thunder are going to be in control in this one. So I think Jokic, back to the basket, getting some offensive rebounds, some putback opportunities. You see post-up free throws. However he gets his points, it's an opportunity for him to score, and he's been a rebounding machine in this matchup too. You go to points and rebounds for the game so far this year, he's over in 3 of the 5, and you can see the last recent ones, 53 here, and then of course that first game won, 64 points and rebounds. So I'm going to go back to Jokic. I think he's going to be in a good spot to do well, regardless of how well the Nuggets do. And just going to keep things very simple on that side of the court. So that's going to do it for me in this one. We talked about a whole bunch of different plays. I think my favorite ones are probably the Tatum over 43.5 PRA or 42.5 PRA, wherever you can find that. I think he's going to be active and aggressive. I think Caruso is going to be active and aggressive on his side of the court. I do like that OG Anunoby fading him on the Knicks side of things as well. So taking his under 16.5 points. And again, I explained all this. You can go back and watch the video if you just fast forward to the end to get the plays. That's all the explanation is in the earlier part of the video. So kind of jumping all over the place. Tatum over his PRA. I like OG Anunoby fading him. He's been awesome, but I think the Celtics have to kind of lock in on him, who's kind of burned him in that first game. I like Caruso to be active on the defensive end like he has been, getting him out a lot of time in the court. 2.5 blocks and steals seems high. It's a plus money play for a reason, but he's been extremely active, and I expect that's what the Thunder come out and do today. And then on the Nuggets side of things, Jokic is going to be able to cook. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to get points. They got to take away some of these other guys like the Aaron Gordons, like the Jamal Murrays. Christian Brown was awesome. Russell Westbrook was awesome. They got to take away some of those other guys, and I think Jokic is going to be the guy that's going to be the consistent factor in this series. So that's what we got going on for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, again, leave the video a like, comment something down below, subscribe if you are new, of course. And hopefully we're back on the normal grind here, getting videos out daily, and we can try to find some success here in the playoffs. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. If you want access to all my plays, definitely check out the link in the description down below. It's a DubClub link. You can get access to my free my Discord. There's a free part. There's a premium part. So definitely check out that. There's plenty of different ways to get into the premium part for free. Signing up for Underdog, PrizePicks, Sleeper, Dabble, Parlay Play, any of those different platforms using my code. That's how you get in there for free. And I appreciate if you guys use that. It's a great way to support the channel as well. And again, I give it right back to you guys in the form of a free month. So comment something down below if you do use those codes. They got a lot of free squares. I think new user free squares for Underdog, for Sleeper, probably for some other ones as well. But they also, sending out a lot of playoff discounts and boosts and things like that for a lot of these different platforms too. So win-win-win situation. Definitely check them out, and I'd appreciate that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.